Welcome back, everyone, to Sportz Blitz Live, presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air.
Got a caller on the air. Go ahead.
Who am I speaking with?
This is Luke and Brett.
Hey there, guys. I've been watching y'all, but I can't tell on this phone. I can't hear the voices, and I hate to hurt your feelings, Luke, but you know Brett's my favorite one of all y'all announcers. This Marsh out of Anniston. He reminds me, man, everything he says is so good. But anyway, I don't get no trouble started. But what everything y'all had on tonight has been great. I mean, and I can't. The first show I caught of y'all's was last year. You and Luke and Brett, y'all were in a discussion. I believe it was a Tennessee game where it was a quick whistle with the officials. And I'm like, man, Brett's got this, but Luke is lost. And I don't mind telling you that, Luke, because we Alabama fans. I mean, but tonight it seems like you kind of veered a little bit more to saying officiating is, sometimes it's okay to criticize them. And I worked in a union job, and this is what I always said. 90% of our guys was great, but there was somewhere between 5 and 10% that wasn't good. So I think officiating that, you could use that same scenario. But anyway, let me say when you was talking about all the fans storming the field during the Tennessee game, I didn't go. I was watching. I hadn't been to a game in years, but man, there was a bunch of people on that field. And what you said about some crazy fan with a knife in their pocket, there's some truth to that. And I don't know whether you remember, but I think it was after 9-1-1 or whatever, when everybody tightened down, and I went to an Alabama game. And at the gate, they was watching it. I mean, they was making you couldn't carry certain things in, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I had
That's right.
Binoculars hanging on my neck. They made me take them back to my car, but I had a portable radio that's a pretty good size radio stuck in my pocket. They could see it. And my earphones, because I always used to like to listen to Eli Gold, and they didn't. And I'm thinking to myself, man, if he was going to put a bomb out, in a portable radio, it'd be just more likely to me than a pair of binoculars. But anyway, we live in a weird world, and I just want to put that on your mind. As safe as we want to be, there is somebody that could, be up to something and do it. And we would hope it wouldn't happen at a football game, but you never know. But anyway, I'm going to let you guys go and hang up the phone and all this. I didn't have anything for you to say. The only thing I will say this about officiating, and I think that Tennessee game was one of the worst with Alabama. That hit
Bryce.
that our quarterback took, man, there ain't no way that was vicious. But I say this over and over. The officiating didn't cost us the game, and I've heard some of my Alabama friends, them officiating. No, the officiating didn't cost us that game. We cost us that game. We should have lost 3 games with everything we did. But anyway, let me hang up. I'm enjoying listening to y'all tonight, and y'all guys have a good week.
Appreciate it. You too, Morris. Thank you, buddy.
First of all, I agree with you. The officiating didn't cost Alabama the game. Alabama had the ball deep in Tennessee, midway in Tennessee territory, and they chose to throw the ball 3 times instead of run the ball at all and get in the middle of the field. That was a boneheaded decision. That's no problem. I think it's okay to say the officiating was bad, yet it didn't cost us the game. I think those two things can happen simultaneously. And I bet last year is one of the things that Brett and I were talking about. What I get irritated with, and I got irritated even when Chris Stewart did it for the Alabama basketball side. Rod Bramlett used to do it a good bit, where it was just always something about the officials, and what Brett was talking about you just harp on it, and you just harp on it. It's like, hey, man, we all have to face some adversity, so just
move on.
Move on. And some announcers don't get over that. But again, I am totally fine criticizing officials, and I think that's a great point about you can have 100 awesome officials, but it's that 101st that makes all those bad calls that gives everybody else a bad name.
It only takes one bad apple to ruin the bunch.
And look, it's one of those professions where it's like an offensive lineman. If you have one bad offensive lineman, if he's the weakest link in your chain, your chain's not going to be worth a darn.
No, it's
you
not.
know. So anyway,
And I want to make a point about what he said about going on the field when you and I went to break. You don't live in a world anymore where you can say it's beyond the realm of possibility of that happening. Hey, you get down in a mob like that and a guy's crazy and they have a knife, they've stabbed 10, 20, 30 people and nobody even knows it. They just be going around stabbing and walking through and nobody even knows who did it.
it just happened in Vegas.
It is not beyond the realm of possibility. If anything, I would expect it to happen more than not. And I think you go to these venues now and you go to these places, and if your guard's not up, then you're selling yourself short, maybe your life.
Well, and Brett, as far as
And that's a shame. That's a shame that it has to be that
it's
way.
100% a shame, and I understand. And look, I think it would be much better to live in a world where people just storm the field, not every game, but on a big game. I'm with you. With you 100%. I don't think you can do it anymore.
I don't think you can.
But his point about carrying the radio in, look, when I was at Alabama, this is in the early 90s, every girl that you took on a date to a football game, they had some kind of dress on, and they always taped a flask with whatever,
In
Kool-Aid, Diet Coke,
that's
whatever,
right.
or something much incredibly stronger
Right.
to the inside of their thigh. And nobody ever checked that.
That's
now,
right.
they might pat you down at Legion Field a little bit if you're a guy. They're not going to dare do that to a woman. So, I mean, you're telling me you can't get one of those things in there? I know they got metal detectors. Have you seen the folks? And this is no offense to the people
Yeah,
working
but
the metal
they just
detectors.
kind of
They're just sort of there. They're like, because it's so monotonous.
You cannot have tight security with 85 to
Can't do
90
it.
to 100,000
I'm not
people
knocking
coming
the
in.
people working the thing. I'm just saying.
That's
Look,
exactly right.
I went through the thing this past weekend at Buzz. She goes, "You're good," and I was like, "How do you know?" I mean, in my head, I'm like, "How do you know I'm good? I am good, but how do you know I'm good?"
Yeah, you don't know. That's just how many times does that happen?
A lot.
You know that's again. Don't be surprised.
And I'm not saying I want to be everybody to be patted down and cavity searched.
But I think the point is that can some crazy get on the field and do something to harm a bunch of people? And the answer is yes. You can have all the security you want. Even the tightest security, people figure out a way. And, it don't take but one guy, one woman, whoever, having a bad day saying, you know what, I'm kind of done with my life. I'm about to take some people out.
Well, and here's the other side of it. I mean, you could say, well, and I don't know if this has ever happened at a Mardi Gras or something, but I mean, I've always thought about this ever since 9/11. Like, I can't believe somebody had done something during a time like that. Or now I know the security during New Year's Eve in Times Square is incredible. Like, it's just bananas.
I wouldn't go up there
But
now for
I've been to
anything.
Mardi Gras a few times in my younger days, and I'm telling you, if somebody had ever said, if they just had a blade that long on a knife, there's no telling how much damage they get done because everybody's shoulder to shoulder.
That's my point.
And you wouldn't even know somebody was hurt because you look around and everybody's drunk as a billy goat.
Well, that's exactly what you're looking at in a mob where there's that many people on a field. I mean, there's only so many places for you to go. And then when you got 100,000 people and 80,000 of them run on the field.
And Brett, and this, again, people are going to say, Luke, you're overplaying your hand. But people are smoking cigars on the field, right? So they had some way to light something.
That's right.
We all know there was liquor. So they had some flammable stuff.
That's right.
So I'm just saying.
Then you had this crazy woman in the end zone digging up grass, selling it on eBay.
I mean, my point is, I hate doing this for crazy people because it's almost like you're letting the crazy people win. But you can't legislate crazy.
No,
you can't be like, all right, y'all got to quit being crazy starting now, because that's what makes them crazy. Yeah. So we got to say
care.
we've got to protect everybody the best way we know how.
Right. It's all, this is an over the top comparison, but it's like somebody with a suicide bomb. You can't prevent somebody that's willing to kill themselves. There's no police to that. If somebody's willing to strap explosives to their chest and walk in a place and pull the trigger or pull the plug or pull the cord or whatever it is, that there's nothing you can do about that. So you got to be as precautious as possible. Up against another break. Stay tuned. More Sportz Blitz live right after this.
They say we live in an age of big data, where computers and fancy algorithms are supposed to know you best. But at Country Financial, we know helping you own your future requires, well, something much bigger. Contact your local Country Financial representative and start planning for your future with a personal touch.
Hey, it's Brett Pritchard, and I'm here to tell you all about Sims Foods, who you know better as Wickles Pickles. Wickles Pickles, that 90-year-old recipe, wickedly delicious. Relish, okra, and pickles. From Saturday sandwiches, tailgate snacks, to holiday dinners with your family and friends. From their family to yours. Wickles Pickles, those wickedly delicious pickles.
Wickles Pickles, wickedly delicious pickles.
Okay, somebody's not wearing their seatbelt.
I don't wear seat belts. Might wrinkle my shirt.
That's okay. I'm sure they can iron it before the funeral.
What funeral?
Yours. Almost 70% of people who die in car crashes aren't wearing a seatbelt.
Okay. There. You happy?
Just happy to be alive.
Seatbelts. It's hard to live without them. Drive safe, Alabama. A message from your Alabama Department of Transportation.
Life is a sequence of little successes. The story of my Southern Union success began the day I walked on campus, making new friends, mastering a new skill, reaching a personal goal, the encore performance, the first date, the internship, and now, soon, the dream job. That's the story of my Southern Union success. Register for classes and get ready to watch your Southern Union story come to life.
When you need an automotive hero, you got to call S&S Discount Tire Pros. With locations in Alexander City and Dayville, we are here to serve you today. From quick services like oil changes and tire rotations to in-depth automotive repairs such as suspensions, brakes, and tune-ups, S&S can take care of all your tire needs. You just have to focus on what's important and love the drive. Call S&S Discount Tire Pros today. We are automotive heroes, and we are here to serve you.
It's truck season at Glen Smith in Opelika.
We have an excellent selection of Chevrolet Silverados and GMC Sierras with giant October discounts and no payments till next year. New Chevrolet Silverados up to $7,500 off. GMC Sierras up to $8,500 off.
No payments till next year during truck season at Glen Smith in Opelika. Get ready to smile.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sportz Blitz Live. To get back to these games from this past week, talked about the LSU Ole Miss game. LSU knocking Ole Miss from the ranks of undefeated now. So LSU wins that game 45-20. A bad look for Texas A&M on the road to South Carolina, 30-24. Spencer Rattler not burning anybody up, 12 of 25, 168 yards. But this South Carolina program is kind of trending upwards. And Texas A&M's trending down, and I think that's the first win for South Carolina over A&M.
And since the merger.
So, it's
kind of crazy to think about. But, you're right about Spencer Rattler not playing great, but South Carolina's culture's just changed. And, man, I give them tons of credit.
That's a tough place to play.
So I'll tell you something, man. That place was electric. And it was a dump game for
even
the most
though they
part.
are selling season tickets at Costco.
I understand, but it was
but they was packed.
Look, I went there, and I guess it was 18 or 19. I can't remember which date, but and it was a CBS afternoon game, and it was a ton of fun. It must have been 19, and that was the game that Najee Harris leapt somebody and did, and it was just that place is pretty cool.
Yeah,
and at night it's crazy.
It's just one of the tougher environments. I mean, and I know they don't
normally have the team to back it up.
That's exactly right. They show up. Missouri over Vanderbilt, 17-14. Ooh.
That's a game only a mother could
love.
There
ain't no doubt. No, not much to talk about there. And then Tennessee over UT Martin, 65-24. Not a lot there. Some games outside the conference. Clemson comes back and beats Syracuse 27-21.
Another case of the officials stinking it up 8 ways from Sunday. In fact, it was even worse because they gave Clemson the benefit of the doubt on roughing the passer both times.
Right.
And it really won the game for them. I mean, now, look, NC State still had their shot. I mean, Syracuse still had their shot, I suppose. But, man, if you're Syracuse and you get the rough end of that stick, it's one thing to be Alabama and you still got a lot of talent and you still got time. Syracuse ain't going to have many shots like this.
No.
And they got hosed. I hate to say it. And they should have won anyway. They gave up a 50-yard run to Will Shipley and all this. But, wow, that was as bad of officiating.
And this is not a very good Clemson
to
team.
me, that's where you say, okay, that's fine. Y'all blew that call. It happens. Now y'all have to go call the Duke-Miami game from now on.
To be as highly touted as Uyunglele is, he's about below average, man. He has not had a lot of
some
good
people just don't do well with the bright lights, and it feels like he's not doing well with the bright lights. Clay Klubnik is pretty good, but he didn't like the world on fire, but he's pretty good. And I think he'll be okay. And then, of course, they got Chris Vezina coming in next year from Briarwood.
You look at TCU over Kansas State. This TCU team's pretty good, man.
Kansas made it a game for a minute. And, you know, I really like Lance Leipold. He's a good coach.
He's getting it done, man. I mean, how about Oregon with a big win over UCLA? And, you know, Bo Nix continues to play pretty well, man.
You begin to ask yourself, a national guy said this, and it made sense to me. Like, if you take out the Georgia game, Bo Nix is probably in the top 3, top 4 of the Heisman voting. But nobody can forget the Georgia game.
It was so bad.
And they lost 49-3.
It's the albatross around their neck this year. I mean,
and so, but if he can sort of keep this up, I think he's at least in the discussion. Do I think he gets invited to New York? Probably not. But
look, kudos to him.
Yeah, what
making a change, graduates from Auburn, decides to move on. And as much as it pains me to say, it's the best decision he ever made. It just is.
He could not do this at Auburn
for
a multitude of reasons. Number one, Oregon's got better skill players. And number two, Oregon's got a better offensive line. And number three, they play an easier schedule.
All of that, yep, no doubt. All right, Texas loses to Oklahoma State 41-34.
You know, they had a big lead, like 17, 20 points.
They did.
You know,
Texas just cannot.
Sark, I'm going to say this again. I think Sark left Alabama 1 year too early. For him, for everybody. But Texas kind of panicked. They were scared to death. And now sometimes these panic hires work out. That's what Georgia did.
Right.
They panic hired Kirby Smart. But
it's definitely worked out for
It's worked out. But I'm saying I think Texas panic hired Steve Sarkisian. He needed 1 more year in the Nick Saban rehab.
Right.
And I think he would have been fine. Or at least better.
Maybe that opportunity wasn't there a year later, though.
Oh, it wouldn't have been because they'd already fired Tom Herman.
Yeah.
But, hey, again, I'm not saying Sark made a bad decision.
I understand.
Sark did the right thing. I think Texas did the wrong thing.
Yeah. Duke, went on the road and big win.
Again, Riley Leonard.
How bad does Miami look right now in a couple of bad losses?
Boy, everybody really wanted – Mario Cristobal is getting some dudes. I mean, they got Francis Maugawa. I think that's how you say his name. They got the top offensive lineman in the country. They got some other guys coming in. They're still in on Reuben Bain, who's still looking at Alabama and Auburn. They're in on a bunch of dudes. But, man, you got to beat Duke at home like that, right? Now, I'll tell you something. Miami's attendance has been pretty god-awful, but it hadn't been in the area code awful. I hadn't seen awful attendance till I seen that Stanford game.
But,
there were 7 people there.
We've seen some pictures over the last few years of some games out west. It's atrocious, man. The attendance at some of these games, Arizona, Stanford.
Shoot, Arizona State. My son's at Arizona State. I can tell you can get in the game. It ain't one of those, well, can I sneak in? You can get in the game.
They begging you to come.
I
mean, that tells you a lot, man. People deciding if your program's not very good, there's other things to do on a Saturday, and you can watch your team on TV, and you can watch other games, and you ain't got to go sit in, the hot blazing sun or do whatever. There's all kind of different options out there now.
And also, especially if you're playing a team that's not very good. I mean, look, Stanford and Arizona State were playing. They're 2 bad teams.
Nobody's showing up.
And nobody's showing up. Now, look. If I were just around, I might go because I'm a college football fan, but I wouldn't go every week because there are other games I do want to see.
That's my point. So, up against another break. Stay tuned. More Sportz Blitz right after this.
Have you stopped by Lifesavers Mission Thrift Store lately? If you haven't, you should. You'll find great pieces for your favorite do-it-yourself project. Lightly used name brand clothing by Free People, North Face, Matilda Jane, Patagonia, and a whole lot more. And while you're there, don't miss the shoes, decorative pieces, classic and new books, and Auburn and Alabama gear that won't cost you a fortune. So stop and shop at Lifesavers Mission Thrift Store today for a unique thrift experience that won't break the budget. Lifesavers Mission Thrift, located on East University behind Zaxby's.
Whether it's Lake Martin, Lay Lake, or Logan Martin, boaters from all over the state of Alabama come to Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama, because it's worth the drive. With the best deals on unbeatable Suzuki outboards, Manitou and Landau Tritoons, and a great pre-owned inventory while they last. Alex City Marine is the pros the locals know. And no matter where you're from, when you're here, you're local to us. Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama. AlexCityMarine.com.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
Planting season is here, and the Potting Shed Garden Center is happy to give you professional landscaping advice when it comes to planting your shrubs and trees. Auburn's best kept secret will have it all this fall. Mums, pansies, pumpkins, and much more. All an array of colors and sizes, along with beautiful pots and containers, indoor plants, and a great selection of other gardening gifts. It's all at the Potting Shed Garden Shop, where natural elements reign supreme. Located on the corner of Moore's Mill and Society Hill Road in Auburn.
Now is the best time to sell your current home, as it's a seller's market, meaning that on average you can get up to 96% of your asking price. Who's the most aggressive and most experienced to help you sell your home?
Hi, I'm Rhonda Gaskins, broker Century 21 Lake Area Realty in the Lake Martin area. We are getting a 96% return on our listing price, the sales price in this area. Call me today and let me go to work for you. 256-749-3644.
GillsOpelika.info. Get pre-approved in minutes online at GillsOpelika.info for a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV from Gills Auto Sales, 1430 Gateway Drive in Opelika.
All right, welcome back, everyone, to Sportz Blitz Live. A couple segments left in tonight's show. A little fun at the end of the program, like we always do. We have a Would You Rather segment, Luke, and most of these are for both of us. One's for me, one's for you. So I'll go with yours first. Luke, Alabama, would you rather win the national title this year or Alabama make it to their first Final Four?
Ooh. Most years I would say win the national championship because the national championship's a national championship. This year I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. I'm going to say win the national championship still because that is the ultimate goal, and I want Bryce to win a national championship for himself. I mean, I think he deserves one. He got one in 2020 being on the team, but he wasn't the starting quarterback. I want him to have one, so I'm going to go with that. But, man, it's close. It's really close. There are a lot of fans I know who aren't going to say it's a blowout. I don't think it's a blowout. I want to see Alabama go to a Final Four. I certainly do. I think Nate Oates is the kind of guy who can take them there. His recruiting's going really well. But I think we'll have more chances. And here's the other thing. Saban's close enough to retirement where I'm like, okay, any national championship could be the last one I see for a while. And I'm 50, so it could be the last one I ever see. So, the Final Four, though, I've gone my whole life without one. I can continue to go without one.
Okay, so you'll take.
I'm going to say national championship by a nose.
Okay, all right. Mine, Auburn would have rather won the 2013 national title or the 2019 basketball national title, and that one's tough too because Auburn's never really been very relevant in basketball until Bruce Pearl had, arrived on the plains, but you look at that 13 game, and the way that season ended, it's just hard to, it was almost everything was just lining up perfect for that team to finish it off. Would have been their second title in 4 years, would have been huge. That one's tough for me too. I'm gonna say win the 2013 football national championship.
And let me tell you why I think that's the right answer too. I think you get that loss is still pains Auburn fans. Like every Auburn fan can know that. But you get a lot of mileage out of just being at the Final Four.
Right.
So I feel like you got that, and so it's sort of like it's already there.
That's right.
It's not necessarily winning the national championship, of course, but I think when it comes to basketball, people are always like, well, they made the Final Four and blank. They may not know who won the national championship that year.
But they're Final Four team.
But
people hang banners for Final Four.
Look, Providence made the Final Four in what was that, 85, I think, or 86? No, it was 87, wasn't it? Because that was the year that Alabama ran into Providence and lost, and they lost in Louisville. But everybody remembers that. I mean, do you remember who won the national championship that year? The Final Four, I think, was Syracuse, Indiana, Providence, and
didn't Auburn get knocked off by Indiana that year?
I don't know about that. But
was it 87 that they? I can't.
Regardless, Indiana won. That was the Key Smart shot. I'm almost positive. So,
but
they beat Syracuse.
But like you said, I mean, Final Four.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with that. So all right, this is for both of us. If your real life was a horror movie / TV show, would you rather be Friday the 13th, Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, or Walking Dead?
I mean, this is super simple for me. It's The Walking Dead. Now, the problem is Jason and Freddie.
You can't kill them guys.
Freddie, I'd never be able to sleep.
Never.
I don't want to do that. And Jason,
you already don't sleep.
I already don't sleep well. Jason and Michael, they just keep showing up.
And they never can die.
Now, here's the problem with The Walking Dead. You're going to be living in a much less of a technology-based world. And, I mean, I'm going to probably be eating, like I've seen them eat raw turtles and things like that in that show. Yeah. Now, I'm not eating the raw turtles, but, I mean, I'd find somebody that could cook a turtle.
Yeah, you'd find something.
I mean, I'd at least put one of them Tennessee lighters.
I mean, you don't have a chance in a Friday the 13th or Halloween.
I can outrun a zombie for a little bit.
That's right, because they're just.
Yeah.
So, all right. Give up the ability to hear or taste.
Oh, this is a no-brainer to hear.
Give up the ability
to hear over taste? I'm not going through my whole life.
I'm going the opposite of that.
No, I'm not going my whole life.
I got to be able to hear my
taste
music. I got to be able to listen to my music, listen to what people are saying.
Well, there are plenty of people who don't, but see, what you do is when you lose your hearing, you can just pick up on the vibrations of the music maybe. But I can't, there's nothing you can do to make me taste again.
That's right. I guess you just live in a permanent
And see, taste and smell are sort of connected, so you lose your smell a little bit too.
Right.
Just by de facto.
I'm going to go with here, so I'm gonna lose.
I switch
keep here. I'm going to keep
Oh, you're going to keep hearing?
I'm going to keep hearing. Yeah. Keep
All right, well, go on there and eat your
my
bland crackers.
It don't matter. It's that way you can eat. You'll be in shape because it don't matter what you eat.
Well, here's the other thing. I won't have to listen to a bunch of nonsense all the time, like people saying they'd rather not hear than not taste and
so I can't hear you. I really can't.
Yeah.
I don't know what you say. All right, would you rather sail around the world with a beautiful woman or live in a remote cabin in the woods with a beautiful woman?
This is easy, too. It's going to be sail around the – so I'm going to tell you something. Just like that poster in Spencer Gifts where Cindy Crawford was coming out of a pool, and this is back when she was like 29 and like everything was perfect and everything was just awesome.
Cindy
and,
Crawford was
like water just dripping off of her and just glistening and everything. And it said at the bottom, I know what you're thinking, but somewhere somebody is tired of this woman. And I don't and I know it sounds a little bit chauvinistic, but I think you could do the same thing for a man.
You
could,
that's exactly
but I'm
right.
saying we get sick of each other in the woods.
Right.
Sailing a boat, you can say, okay, well, look, I know we're about to get in a fight.
Yeah.
You just go on over to the stern or the bow or, starboard, wherever you want to go. And I'll stay over here and I'll play Candy Crush or something until we make up, and then we'll have fun again.
That's exactly
right. And we can go to a different location.
I'm gonna do the same. I'm sailing around the world, no doubt about it. Okay, final one here before we go to our last break. Go back to age 5 with everything you know now, or know right now everything your future self will ever learn.
I mean, this is so easy. Go back to age 5 with everything I know now.
Definitely going
Why
back.
in the world do I want to know any more than I know right now? I'm fine.
Unfortunately, the more we learn moving forward, the more I'm like, can we go back?
Can you imagine how I would tear up kindergarten if I went back? I'm not very bright, but if you took everything I've done in my life and sent me back 5 years old,
in your pocket in 5. Yeah,
that'd be hell on wheels, man. It's like George Costanza said. He said, look, if you take everything I've ever done in my life and condense it down to one day, it's not bad.
Not bad at all. Let's get our final break. Stay tuned. More Sports Blitz right after this.
Concrete Basement and Walls, LLC, 205-229-0234. Call owner Eric McKenzie now to get your free quote now. 205-229-0234. Concrete Basement and Walls, LLC.
So, you finally got the boat, ATV, or side-by-side of your dreams, huh? But make it yours with marine-grade audio that'll provide crisp, high-quality sound that's loud enough to be heard, whether you're cruising on the lake or hitting a mud hole. Come see Steve at the Car Stereo Shop in Auburn, so you'll be ready to crank up the volume. Whoa, but wait, you don't have to pull out of the water and trailer it to Auburn. The Car Stereo Shop can handle all of your work at any one of the Lake Martin marinas.
Finding a job might be tough, but starting your new career has never been easier. Wellborn Cabinet in Ashland has a wide array of career opportunities with benefits. General labor production, skilled cabinet builders, product assembly line, shipping, over-the-road truck drivers, clerical, marketing, security, daycare, office clerks, and so much more. Apply in person, 38669 Highway 77 South in Ashland, or online at wellborn.com. Building cabinets, building careers, and building our community.
76% of nurses say they went into the profession because they wanted to help patients. No matter the reason you decided to become a nurse, you have all the tools needed to advance your degree at Jacksonville State University. Our Master's in Nursing program is now offered fully online and can be completed in less than 2 years. You can customize a flexible course schedule so you can receive your advanced education degree all while working on the front line. JSU Nursing, your opportunity to advance your career and serve your community.
At Russell Medical, we're proud of our exceptional nurses, like Nurse Brandy Worthy. Brandy represents the selfless, compassionate clinical leader patients expect and coworkers admire. Brandy was recently honored with the Nightingale Award for Nursing Excellence for her high standards, sound judgment, and caring manner. Her passion for her profession inspires us all.
Being a nurse is not just what you do, it's who you are. I'm proud to be a part of the nursing team at Russell Medical. We are the link between all hospital services, providing you with exceptional, personalized care.
Skag, the toughest name in lawnmowers. Unmatched quality and performance for over 3 decades. The clear choice, the best mower money can buy for work or at home. Top lawn care professionals and discerning homeowners know that Skag means productivity and reliability. Every Skag mower is proudly built right here in the USA. Don't settle for anything less than simply the best. Skag.
Satterfield Outdoor Living on Highway 280 in Alex City.
Concrete Basement and Walls, LLC, 205-229-0234. Call owner Eric McKenzie now to get your free quote now. 205-229-0234. Concrete Basement and Walls, LLC.
Maybe the shortest segment in Sports Blitz history right here. I've got to end the show right now. We're kind of a little bit over time, but World Series does start on Friday. I don't think anybody really cares around these parts, but it will be the Phillies and the Astros, so nobody with a dog in that fight around these parts. But anyway, Auburn Blitz will be on the air the rest of the week. Saturday Sports Countdown coming up, as always, at 7 o'clock on Saturday. You guys will be on the Scoreboard Show. Final regular season week of the season is coming Friday from 10 to midnight. Don't want to miss that following our broadcast. But that's going to wrap it up for Sports Blitz Live. For Luke Robinson, I'm Brett Pritchard saying we've enjoyed it. We'll hope you have. See you next time.
You don't have to ask who, what, or why. Who's Diner is the go-to place for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Conveniently located at the corner of Highway 22 and 280 in Alex City. Who's Diner offers the best meals and the best deals in town. Try our fresh, made-from-scratch pancakes, chicken salad, Philly cheesesteak, or the Who Burger. It doesn't get any better than Who's Diner, of course, on the corner of Highway 22 and 280. Who's hungry?
Skag, the toughest name in lawnmowers. Unmatched quality and performance for over 3 decades. The clear choice, the best mower money can buy for work or at home. Top lawn care professionals and discerning homeowners know that Skag means productivity and reliability. Every Skag mower is proudly built right here in the USA. Don't settle for anything less than simply the best. Skag.
Satterfield Outdoor Living on Highway 280 in Alex City.
Tails are wagging and pets are bragging about Zoom to Groom. Columbus, Phoenix City, and Smith Station. Zoom to Groom comes to you. It's mobile pet grooming from the comfort of your driveway. Schedule your appointment now online at zoomtogroom.net or by phone at 334-740-9909.
So you want to build a home? Build the home you want with America's Home Place. Choose from over 150 floor plans, then personalize. Tile backsplash with granite countertops? Done. A spacious bathroom you've always dreamed of? You got it. Choose every detail, floors, cabinets, even the paint color.
How about electric lime?
Can't decide? Relax. At America's Home Place, we take care of it all. It's your home. Own it. America's Home Place.
Farmers and Merchants Bank of Dadeville is building a foundation of strength and trust in the entire Lake Martin community. With our modern branch in Dadeville and caring, attentive staff, we've established Farmers and Merchants Bank as a reliable friend to your banking needs. Whether it's just a savings or checking account or any commercial, auto, or real estate loan, Farmers has local decision-making to build a relationship with you and your needs. Farmers and Merchants Community Bank. Strength, service, community.
Are you looking for something really good for lunch? Are you tired of the same old fast food? Well, go to Buck's. Get a meat and 2 sides or a meat and 3 sides for the best deal in town. Buck's always serves up the best food, including fried chicken, wings, hamburger steaks, catfish, shrimp, and yes, of course, the famous Buck cheeseburger basket. And Buck's has dinner specials too. So if it's your turn to cook dinner, Buck's will be glad to do it for you. We appreciate your business and look forward to serving you.
Tails are wagging and pets are bragging about Zoom to Groom. Columbus, Phoenix City, and Smith Station. Zoom to Groom comes to you. It's mobile pet grooming from the comfort of your driveway. Schedule your appointment now online at zoomtogroom.net or by phone at 334-740-9909.
Russell Do-It Center and building supply stores have the tools and materials to get the job done right, whether you're a professional contractor or just a weekend do-it-yourselfer. With everyday customer conveniences like a drive-through lumberyard, price match promise, and our Best Rewards program, each of our 9 locations offer top brands and building materials like lumber, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. Visit today and see what Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply can help you build tomorrow.
Why is Sarah Automotive Group on Highway 280 in Sylacauga the place for the best deals on your new ride? 3 compelling reasons. 1. With 3 full new car dealers on one lot, you get the best in comparison and incentives on Fords, Hondas, and Nissans' unmatched selection. 2. Sarah pays over market value for your trades to maintain East Central Alabama's best pre-owned vehicle selection and sales. And 3. The Sarah Automotive price won't be beat and delivers lower payments and huge value on your next buy. Shop online or on Highway 280 in Sylacauga.
Concrete Basement and Walls LLC, 205-229-0234. Call owner Eric McKenzie now to get your free quote now. 205-229-0234. Concrete Basement and Walls LLC.
So, you finally got the boat, ATV, or side-by-side of your dreams, huh? But make it yours with marine-grade audio that'll provide crisp, high-quality sound that's loud enough to be heard, whether you're cruising on the lake or hitting a mud hole. Come see Steve at the Car Stereo Shop in Auburn, so you'll be ready to crank up the volume. Whoa, but wait, you don't have to pull out of the water and trailer it to Auburn. The Car Stereo Shop can handle all of your work at any one of the Lake Martin marinas.